Hello and welcome to It's Okay with Rose and
Maria.
Hi Maria, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you having a good week so far?
I'm having a great week and we are very happy to be back, especially in our new setup. As you can probably tell, Rose has been working very hard on it all week, and now we have our own spot to record every time we have a new episode.
Yes, so we're hoping to not be too much breaks in between, but
There's been a lot of changes.
And life happens because of all the changes, and there's been good and there's been, some not so good changes, but we work through all of them, right? Just like the seasons, we never know from season to season how the weather is going to be, whether it's going to be too hot, too cold, not hot enough, not cold enough. It's just been wacky. But anyway, with the changes, you have growth. And that has really been the biggest thing I know for Maria and myself. For one, this place, the boutique has formed a diva hut, and then in this space, it's a space for women to come together and shop and just feel they can get away from that everyday, shopping in the lines and
Work.
Work, and just a place you could just kind of relax. And this space, which is where we're going to be most frequent with our talk shows.
Yes, exactly.
So Maria, I know that you've been going through quite a bit of changes. You recently finished your clinicals, or are you still working on them?
So yeah, I was actually in a patient care tech program this past summer. So I just finished my clinicals. It was like 8 days. So I had orientation and then 8 days of actual clinical. So I worked in like the emergency department, oncology, cardiac, triage, which was kind of hectic. I even went on like the helipad at the hospital, took a tour of the trauma unit. I did a lot in that time span, and it's just a really great feeling because I never thought I would get to that spot and really love it as much as I do. So
did it kind of affirm the
it
path,
did affirm
the path that you're
yes.
going on to become a nurse?
Yes, that's exactly why I did it this summer, just so I have my feet wet in the hospital and I know how it is before I really go deep into school, because I still have a couple more years left. And I know it's definitely something for me. Not that it's easy, but it's definitely like something I feel like I was meant to do.
Now, it took you a while to get to this place because it's not the first time you're in school. You started and there was like a change there, and you didn't think that you can go through with it.
It was very unexpected. Break, right? Yes. I actually, long story short, I graduated high school, and then I went to the College of Staten Island. I went away, so I wasn't home anymore. I ended up dropping out of CSI, not even a year into it.
Now, did you go through like a separation, anxieties? Did you go through anything that led you to drop out? Did you, was that a place or a time that you decided that you maybe not want to continue nursing? Because you always were on that path of wanting to become a nurse, and then you had taken that break when you came home.
Yeah, I just think the reason is it wasn't my time to really grind on school and my future career, of course. When I first started school, they say like the freshman 15, I gained like the freshman 25, whatever it was, freshman 30, which obviously did not make me feel too good about myself. School was not easy, right out of high school. I mean, not that I didn't do well in high school, because I did, but it was a really big shocker being away from school. Being away from home and doing everything on my own. My whole life changed, which was fine, but it was definitely something to take in. And then when I finally came back to school this past September, I knew that I was fully ready. I already had that past experience, and now I could really get into it because I have like the utmost motivation to become a nurse, and after the program now even more so.
So when we talk about the changes, right, the seasons change, and I'm a big believer in we go through, similar in our lives, we go through similar to the seasons, right, fall, winter, spring, summer. The weather changes, but we go through changes, whether we are going through, confusion or growth or depression or stress, or just even, everything is, smooth sailing. We always like the smooth sailing season. But, that doesn't always last, right?
Right.
Because if we always had smooth sailing, we never grow, right? So I was just wondering, like, what was that turning point for you that you said, aha, you know what, I'm both feet in, I'm fully committed, and what can you give the viewers out there who may be in that same situation with school and not thinking that school is for them, or this is not for them, or I'm not ready for this, or feeling overwhelmed, because it sounds like you were a little overwhelmed with the whole dynamic of change, leaving home and doing things on your own and having to manage school. So that word comes to my mind, is overwhelmed. So
definitely overwhelmed.
How could you, what tips can you give the viewers who may be feeling that same thing, overwhelmed and wanting to give up?
Well, change isn't always a bad thing, and I've heard time and time again how people don't like change, and I understand that, but it can actually be a beautiful thing because it opens new doors for you, whether it happens at that moment or not. Like, it took me over 2 years to actually be fully committed into school. Sometimes you have to reach rock bottom, just in general, to really understand and grasp what you want in life, and which actually touches on our other episode, the purpose of life and why we're here and what we're meant to do. Growth is definitely a part of that, because if things were always the same, how are you going to, make things happen,
Or find yourself.
Or even find yourself. See, a lot of our topics connect with one another.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like your clinicals really has, that's what's, and I always say, putting yourself in that position, I look at my boys and, my older son, he worked a job, and he went through a massive season of change. He went through a couple of seasons of change, and he took a leap of faith, and he chose to leave, one career and start a whole new career. And he was in the same situation. He went to, to college right out of school, high school, graduating, and didn't do so well. And he wasn't away. He did community college, and it just wasn't for him. His mind wasn't there. And then he, wanted to work, and he did, and he made, a good amount of money for, his age. And then he decided, what, I want something more. And he wanted to, he needed more that was fulfilling him and satisfying. And he went back to school, and he's thriving. He's getting all A's, and in the process, he is, the area that he's studying, he got jobs in, and he's working in a job that he absolutely loves, and he has responsibilities, and while going to school, and he's, really, thriving and, doing great, and I'm really proud of him. And the same thing with my other boys, they're doing the same thing. Then we go to, we talk about the youth. So we come back to now, where we are as a middle-aged person. I know I say middle-aged, but I have gone through those decades. You're in your 20s, and you're trying to figure things out. I've lived through my 20s, I lived through 30s, the 40s, and I'm in my 50s. And
so
and
what
I
has
remember,
changed for you now?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many changes. I went from changes, and then these could be definitely other topics. I went through changes of, being a mother, and my one priority was making sure that my kids were always safe, and, had what they needed. And then there was the change of them growing and now becoming not just their mother, but a mentor, leading by example, and just being strong. And then there was the change of, finding myself, and that's where we come into my 50s. I know 49, I took a big change of my life, and I'm going through one now. For the past 6.5 years, I was caring for my grandmother, and I know there are plenty of people out there who care for another one, who is sick or elderly, or just has a responsibility of caring for another person. And
Big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility, and because of who I am, what's interesting and what I learned recently is I never stopped to think about the responsibility and the impact and the weight that it can hold on you, because I didn't have that opportunity. It was always, you just do it. You don't think about it.
You don't think about
the impact or the problems, or you don't think about it. You just do, and you don't have a chance to just stop and think about it. So when you don't have the opportunity to think about it and you just do, you get through it. You figure it out and you get through it, and everything falls into place as it should. And as a result of all those changes, the boutique has gone in a very different direction. My professional career, I'm looking to do different things, and in real estate, and work more on that, and just grow even more, and reach out and not take what I go through for granted. Not take that it is easy, but it is hard, and be able to accept that. Because that was always the thing that I had a problem with, is looking at the situation and saying, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I never did that. But you know what? It is hard, and it's okay. It's okay to feel that it's hard, right? So, Maria, I really appreciate these shows, and I hope that we are making an impact and reaching at least one person, right? Because it's not about volume, but it's about touching one person at a time.
It's like how they say quality over quantity. So, if we're touching someone in a way where it can help them, that's what matters, rather than a whole bunch of people watching and not getting anything from it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe it also helps them feel they're not alone.
Exactly.
And then they can help somebody else.
That's right, because no one wants to feel alone, and that's exactly why we are here. That is the purpose of our channel, our talk show, whatever you want to call it. That is our motivation to make a change, make a change in someone's life, and spread positivity.
Yeah. So be sure to subscribe if you feel like you want more.
And you are enjoying, and if you are enjoying, definitely share with a friend. We would love, obviously, to touch as many people as possible, and we look forward to many more episodes in our new setup.
Have a great week, and anybody who's starting school,
good luck.
Good luck. To the teachers, good luck, and we pray blessings over all of you. Have a great week, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.